platforms looking for you, and I'm like, I didn't want to, if it was recording because it was still good.
Morning, motivators. Let's take two on this one. I just spent the last 9 minutes talking to a camera that wasn't recording. So let's start over. I just wanted to jump on here and give you a little something for your mind, body, and soul, and talk about a few things that have been going on this week. I mean, this morning it was really special. You don't realize the kind of connections. So let me backtrack a little bit. Social media is a double-edged sword, and I do this show and I do Motivate with Iz on several social media platforms. Some are a little bit larger than others. I'm just trying to grow an audience on certain ones, and one that I have hardly any followers on, which is TikTok. I saw a video this morning where a young lady she used a quote about how God is using your trials as a platform to reach people. And it really touched me. And somehow, in the back and forth between the two of us, we managed to have a conversation. And she's actually on her way to church right now to worship a little bit harder because we got into an I love you, mean it conversation. And I think we're having an argument now about who loves each other more. And I don't even know her. And how special is that, right? So that kind of leads into the show. Why am I doing this, right? I don't call it a podcast. I call it a show because I'm not streaming it on any other platforms except for YouTube, LinkedIn, and Facebook. So if you want to check it out, those are the places to go. Right now, I don't have any intent to turn it into anything else. But even if I'm connecting with one or two people a day, or I'm helping grow the message and making my world a better place, then I think that this is all worth it. I'm really not in it for anything else except for the passion of touching people and making my little spot of the world a little bit better. So speaking of that, I spent 29 years in the United States Navy, and I got a lot of sea/shore stories, and I want to share one with you today. I was drill instructor, recruit division commander at Great Lakes from 2000 to 2003. I was a young sailor. I got there as a second class, which is an E5. I left as a chief petty officer, which is an E7. It was a good tour for me, and I learned a lot from the leaders there. And that's my shore story I want to share with you today. I was there through the Cole attack, lost a shipmate on the USS Cole. Meant a lot to me. Andrew Triplett, he's a hero to many of us that served on the Tycho. That's a sea story for another time. And I was there for 9/11. Still in touch with many of the recruits that I pushed through. I got a couple pretty good stories from some of them. In fact, I'm going to a retirement ceremony, which I'm honored to be invited to later this year, from one of the recruits who is going to hang his uniform up and he's retiring. It's hard to believe, but somebody I actually pushed through boot camp is going to be retiring. And it's an honor to be invited. Again, a short story for another time. But I asked a chief petty officer, which is E7 in the Navy. It's a rank that many of us are. It's a big milestone in the Navy, and many of us work really, really hard to get there. It doesn't mean that if you don't achieve that pay grade that you haven't been successful. And in fact, many don't even get the opportunity because they get out before then. And it's all about honorary service. But the process of getting to chief is a long one, and it's a tough one. And I was trying to decipher what I needed to do to show the people that I worked for that I was ready to be a chief petty officer. So I approached this chief and I asked him, what can I do to make a difference? And he said, you're already doing it. all you need to be is a shiny spot in a mud puddle. And I thought that that was extremely profound because that applies in so many different ways in our lives, whether we're at work, whether we're at play. Being a shiny spot in a mud puddle, I mean, if you think about a mud puddle, whether it be a, a pothole in Cleveland, Ohio, or a muddy hole in Suffolk, Virginia, and there's some potholes in Suffolk too, by the way. Hi to all my family out there. But it could ruin your day if you hit that mud puddle. You can mess your shoes up, tear a tire up. It's a mess. It's murky. It's dirty, and you just don't know what's underneath that water. It could be deep. It could be shallow. You just don't know. And that's kind of the way the world is. It's deep. It's murky. It's sometimes very shallow, and all we can do is be the shiny spot and make a difference in our little sphere of the world, and influence those around us. So that translates also into how we treat people, right? I mean, the way that somebody might be having a bad day at work, or you see somebody grumpy, in the store. Sometimes a smile, sometimes a hello, or just being patient and listening to people and understanding that we're all struggling with our own thing can be that difference. You could be that shiny spot for them. So think about that. That exactly encompasses everything that I'm trying to do with the term "I love you, mean it." I don't own that term. You could go on, online and Google "I love you, mean it." It's nothing I made up. It's not something that was original to is. It's just something that I believe in, and I want to make it a movement. It needs to be a movement in a world that is murky and dark and shallow. So, when you say "I love you, mean it," make that difference with somebody, just like the individual I made that connection with on TikTok today. That was special, and it made me smile. In fact, I shed a tear. For those of you that know me, it's pretty easy to cry, and it was awesome to hear that she's gonna smile a little bit more today just because I told her that I love her. And I do. I don't know her. I just want her to be happy, and that's all I care about for people. So imagine if we can make that kind of movement and get people to smile at each other a little bit more in this dark world, and tell each other that they love them even if they don't know them. It doesn't matter what religion you are, what you look like, what you wear, what color your hair is. I don't know. The differences are immense, and just doesn't matter because we're all in this thing together. I say that so often. So I love you. I mean it. I'm wearing one of my shirts today, and these shirts aren't about raising money. I'm not asking you to go out and buy an "I love you, mean it" shirt. Really, this stuff is just because I have a stack of shirts. I have one that says "Be the person your dog thinks you are," and I think that having a passive message on your shirt makes people more open to talk to you, and have a conversation. Sometimes they're just conversation starters. One of my other favorites is "I'm a fit parent." It's not a dad bod. It's a what is it? Father figure. That's right. It's a whole company, not a dad bod. It's a father figure. And then I'll see myself out because it's a horrible dad joke. But either way, those shirts are a way to change the mindset passively, and then a smile is an active way to change it. So check out the shop on Shopify. If you want to buy a shirt, awesome. If not, no sweat. It's not about me making money. It's about trying to start a movement. So get out there and motivate today. Love you. Mean it.